The grand lobby of the Carlton Regal Hotel gleamed with marble and gold, echoing with polite laughter and soft music. Everyone in the room belonged, except her. Maya stood awkwardly near the fountain, her simple jeans and faded hoodie drawing suspicious glances. She wasn't there to cause trouble. She was just looking for a place to stay warm. Her shoes were wet from the slush outside, and the bag clutched in her hand held all she had left. She never expected to see Liam again. He was 10 now, the little boy she used to babysit when his mother was alive, and they lived in a modest home across the street from her apartment. But after the accident, Liam's father, Adrian Grant, rose to billionaire status and moved him away. Maya hadn't seen him in 3 years. As she lingered by the edge of the lobby, her eyes locked onto Liam. He was dressed in an expensive suit, laughing with a group of adults. The moment he spotted her, his smile vanished. Before she could wave, 2 security guards grabbed her arms. "She doesn't belong here," one growled, dragging her toward the door. Maya didn't struggle. She just looked back at Liam with tired eyes, offering a faint smile. That's when the boy's voice pierced the room like a siren. "Stop. That's my Maya." Everything froze. The billionaire's son had spoken, and the entire room turned toward them. The security guards halted instantly. One loosened his grip, clearly confused. Liam broke free from the group of adults and ran toward Maya, nearly slipping on the polished floor. His eyes shimmered, and when he reached her, he wrapped his arms around her waist, burying his face in her hoodie. "This is Maya," he said firmly, turning to the stunned crowd. "She used to take care of me. She made me pancakes when I was sad." The billionaire, Adrian Grant, stepped forward. Tall, composed, and sharp in a tailored suit, his face showed a flicker of recognition as he studied Maya. "You're Maya Bennett?" She nodded, her voice soft. "I didn't mean to cause a scene. I just needed somewhere warm. I didn't even know Liam would be here." Adrian's expression softened, but the people around him whispered and frowned, clearly uncomfortable. A woman muttered, "She looks homeless." Liam turned angrily. "She's not just anyone. She's the kindest person I know." The tension cracked. Adrian slowly approached Maya and gestured for the guards to step back. "Liam talks about you more than anyone else. After my wife passed, you were there for him. I never got to say thank you." Maya looked down, embarrassed by her worn-out sneakers and patched backpack. "I just did what anyone would've." But Liam clutched her hand and said, "Not anyone would've stayed when I cried all night. Not anyone would've sang me to sleep." Adrian nodded. "You gave my son something money couldn't buy, love." The silence in the lobby turned to murmurs of surprise and curiosity. Maya blinked, unsure whether to cry or run. Then Adrian did something no one expected. He said, "Come. You're not leaving. You're dining with us tonight." Maya sat stiffly at the dinner table, unsure how to hold the crystal glass or what to do with the 5 forks. Everything shimmered, chandeliers, wine glasses, polished silver. She felt like a stain on a white tablecloth. But Liam beamed beside her, chatting excitedly about his school, his dog, and how much he missed her bedtime stories. Adrian watched quietly, his expression unreadable. Midway through the meal, a woman in a sequin dress leaned over and whispered, "Adrian, this isn't a soup kitchen." Maya heard it. So did Liam. He stood on his chair, puffing up like a little lion. "Don't talk about her like that. She's not poor, she's just having a hard time." The room fell quiet again. Adrian's gaze moved from his son to Maya. "Liam's right. We judge too quickly. Maya, where have you been all these years?" She hesitated. "After my mom passed, I lost our apartment. I've been working, but it's been rough." "You helped my family in our worst time," Adrian said. "I should have checked in." Maya shrugged. I didn't expect you to. You were grieving. I just wanted Liam to be okay. Adrian leaned back in his chair, thoughtful. Most people disappear when money or tragedy changes things. But you stayed. Suddenly, he turned to the waitstaff. Bring the guest room keys. Ms. Bennett will be staying here for now. Maya's eyes widened. I can't accept. The guest room was more luxurious than any place Maya had ever been. Silk sheets, a fireplace, even slippers that looked too fancy to wear. But that night, she couldn't sleep. Memories flooded her, of sleeping in shelters, skipping meals so others could eat, whispering lullabies to Liam when he cried after his mom's funeral. Back then, she was just a teenage neighbor. Now, she was someone who didn't even recognize herself in the mirror. A soft knock interrupted her thoughts. It was Liam, holding a blanket and a stuffed bear. I used to bring this to you when I had bad dreams, he said shyly. Thought maybe tonight, I could do the same. Maya smiled, her eyes misty. You remembered that? He climbed onto the bed beside her. I remember everything. Moments later, Adrian joined them with hot cocoa and 2 mugs balanced in his hands. Hope I'm not interrupting. Maya blinked, surprised. You? Cocoa? He chuckled. Let's just say, Liam taught me to slow down tonight. He sat across from her and took a deep breath. I always thought success meant climbing higher, earning more. But watching my son tonight, I realized I've been missing something important. Liam nodded seriously. Like hugs and pancakes. Maya laughed through her tears. Adrian looked her in the eye. You gave him love when I couldn't. You grounded him in a world that turned upside down. Then he added softly, maybe it's time we do the same for you. Maya didn't know what to say. But in that quiet moment, surrounded by warmth, cocoa, and unexpected grace, she realized this wasn't charity. It was healing. Weeks passed, but Maya never felt like a guest again. Adrian made sure of it. He offered her a job, not out of pity, but in recognition of who she was, resilient, kind, and deeply capable. She became Liam's private tutor and eventually the head of a new charity Adrian funded, focused on supporting youth who had aged out of foster care and struggled to find footing, just like she once had. One afternoon, after a long day at the youth center, Maya stood in the same hotel lobby where it all began. This time, she wore a tailored blazer and carried files in one hand and Liam's forgotten soccer bag in the other. A young girl in tattered clothes wandered inside, nervously scanning the room. Security started toward her, until Maya stepped in. It's okay, she said gently, kneeling to the girl's level. Are you cold? Hungry? The girl nodded slowly. Maya smiled. Come with me. I know exactly what you need. From behind, Liam called out, now confident and taller. She's just like you were, huh? Maya turned and nodded. And just like you, she needs someone to believe in her. Adrian, watching nearby, added, funny how life brings people back around, so they can become the ones who once saved them. As they walked toward the kitchen, hand in hand with the girl, Maya looked up and whispered, thank you, life, for not giving up on me. The lobby no longer felt intimidating. It felt full of purpose. And from that moment on, anyone who entered with tired shoes and hopeful eyes would find not judgment, but a warm meal, a listening ear, and maybe even a second chance.